Hey, hey,
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. We are so glad to be back with you guys. We've
y'all
been
been gone.
gone.
I've been sitting here waiting on y'all to come back, but y'all been gone. But now we here.
So, yeah, we have been gone for a little bit. A lot has happened.
Whole lot.
And I don't know. All I can say is thank God we are here. We know how important this is for us. And we have a lot of people telling us and having expectations of us because it's that important for them too. So we have decided to own up to our responsibility and do what we said we were going to do.
Kick
Right.
off again.
So here we are back
Time for kick
again.
off.
And
We're
I'm
gonna
so
start this off with some
excited.
sugar. Give me some sugar, bro. Okay. Get started.
So today's topic, we are going to talk about how comfortable are you with what you like? How comfortable are you with what you like? So, a lot of times, as we were kind of planning our topics, y'all know we don't really discuss the points or what we're going to talk about specifically, but we do pick our topics beforehand. So, when the topic came up, the first thing that came to my mind was, a lot of times we get involved in relationships. We, in this scenario, meaning we personally as well, we get in relationships with people that I selected, right? He selected me, I selected him. And when, for whatever reason, when we introduce them to our family or our friends, there is some reserve about that person. And I know we both had that on both sides with us, where there were some people that kind of felt like, nope, that's not the right one. Why are you doing that? I'm not sure. But where we were kind of solid on our decision and we decided to go with it,
Right.
with or without the thoughts and opinions of others. Okay, that's our story. But more times than not, I want to say, especially doing therapy with people, you have people who are literally struggling in their relationships. Or worse than that, they are not even in a relationship because they feel like the people around them don't agree with that person.
It's a
Meanwhile,
stretch. It's a
yeah,
stretch.
yeah. Meanwhile, they're still, you look at their history of relationships and they keep dating the same type of person. So clearly, there's something about them that you like, right? But because somebody else said it's not a good idea, you're,
Hesitant.
yeah,
A lot of people
hesitant.
are hesitant. You know, a lot of guys will get our homeboy's opinion on the girl. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the physical or whether it's how you think she act, you think she's smart or whatever the case may be. And your decision may be based upon what your friends say.
Yeah,
And not to say that's a bad thing, but that's not the common denominator. It's about what you feel like is best for you.
most importantly. Or what about the people that, they get in a relationship with, like you said, your friends or, your cousin, your sister, even your brother, whatever. And they come home and they like, listen, I met this person, I want to introduce you to him. But I mean, he a little big or, but she a little tall, like already with the disclaimer when you already picked that person. So clearly,
Because they already know. People do that because they already know whoever is going to see them, who they're taking them in front of,
right.
they're going to have that opinion about them. So they're going to go ahead and hit you
Put
with
it
it.
out there in the
Right.
beginning.
Go ahead and put it out there in the beginning so it ain't that bad once you see him. Like, oh, you know what? She did tell me my man was a little fat, right? You know
So
what I
you
mean? She
don't even
did
got to
say that.
ask me about him.
Right.
I'm telling you
Right.
now.
So just soften the blow pretty much.
But that goes back to, are you okay with your choices? Because at the end of the day, my thought process is, and I have been guilty of this before too. I cannot even tell a lie. When I met my son's father, I thought I wasn't into dark skinned guys. And the
Yeah.
first thing my mom's like, okay, well, what does he look like? And I'm like, I mean, he's okay, but he's dark skinned. And she's like, okay. Mind you, my dad is dark, right? And I'm like, but that was the thing, I guess, during that time that light skinned guys were
Look.
in.
Dark skin or dark skin? I don't know. Go ahead.
But, so that was kind of the disclaimer. And I'm saying that to say, we've all been at that place, but if you are really okay with what you choose, I mean, by that point, I had already been okay with giving him my phone number or whatever the case may be. So what difference does it make, or should it make, while I'm explaining this to my mom or my girlfriend or whoever, you know?
Well, and here's another way to look at it. They're telling you about their weight per se ahead of time because they still want you to be okay with them. You get what I'm saying? Because they can say all the nice things they want to say
Right.
about them, but
Right.
when they see them,
Right. I need you to still be okay.
that's what. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And why is that? And I think we may not look at it like this going in, but my thought process is, and we always tell y'all, this is just our thoughts, our opinions.
Exactly.
My thought process is, if you are that uncomfortable coming in, you're probably going to be shaky in our relationship. Like, if when you take me to meet your mom, or before you met,
Your mama, same thing. Or whatever your mama don't like, because you know your people. Whatever they
right.
don't like, whatever they crack on when y'all be out together, if that person has any of those traits, they're gonna warn them ahead of time.
So, good point, but this is what I'm saying. Let me ask you a question, honestly, personally.
Okay.
Y'all, we have never talked about this before, and I'll answer honestly too. Before you introduced me to your mom, did you give her the "let me warn you"? Okay. I will say honestly, before he met my mom, I did not. I kind of just put him out there right in the middle of the "hey, on speakerphone."
I was ready for you to meet him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wasn't no disclaimer. I know read the fine print type deal. Wasn't none of that. It was
Right. And I felt the same way. Now, the reason that I asked that question is because honestly, I asked about moms. But honestly, there were some things that I could have said, okay, but mom, he was raised Jehovah's Witness. I could have said that in the beginning because I knew she would have had an issue with that. But I didn't say that to her. She eventually found out, however, but I didn't put that out there because at that point, it didn't make a difference, right? And the same, I'm assuming, with you and your mom. Nobody feels 100% they love everything about everybody, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think our relationship, like I said, my thought process is our relationship is reflective of how we truly feel and how we went into it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And when you go into it with but let me explain, it's not really a solid relationship. But that comes from within.
When you go into a relationship starting out with foundation is the very bottom.
Right.
Now, if you go in and you already got a house that's built up, let's say it's already built up to the floors. Only thing you got to do is build the walls and the rest. You don't know what that foundation looked like up under that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So what that is, you covering up the things that you don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what you're covering up when you go into that relationship with the other person.
Right.
They don't know what's up under that floor. They need to see the ground too when you get started.
Absolutely.
You need to see that foundation too, so everybody can see what's on the bottom. Nothing covered up. That's the bottom line. Nothing is covered up. There's nothing is gonna be coming out of the closet. Yeah. Exactly. There's no room for that.
Yeah, and to take it a step further, even if, think about the person on the other side of it, right? Like we use that example. Let's say he would have told his mom, like, they're not a short family. They have pretty average or tall people in their family. So what if he would have called his mom, like, hey, I want to meet you. I want you to meet my girl, but she's short. I just wanted you to know. Imagine if I would have heard that, right? Or anything you talk about. When you go into your relationship like that, whether the other person is aware of it or not, to me, it gives a sign that there's a sense of shame.
Right.
Right? Because I just got to tell you one little thing. Think about this. If I tell you, if you just meet me,
sense of
shame.
Okay, right. Because that's what I was thinking in my head.
Imagine if you meet me and you say, "Oh, how are you? Nice to meet you. You're Gregory's wife. What do you do for a living?" With pride, I'm going to say I'm a mental health therapist because that's what I enjoy doing. Most people will say she's a doctor because that's what sounds important. I will say I'm a mental health therapist. I may say I'm a mental health doctor if they already know I'm a doctor, because that's what's important to me. However, because that's what's important to me, let's say, I worked at the mall gathering the trash, right? If you say to me, oh, what's your job? Then I might be like, well, let me just tell you. I work at the mall, but the thing is, I'm still going to school and I'm about to try to find me another job.
So
That's almost the same thing.
Right, because what that says to me is you're ashamed of what you're doing now, so you're going to let me know what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. So when you introduce your relationship like that, it's almost like saying, I would have gotten a skinny person, but, I just got a big one and we're still going to try to work this out.
And those are the ones that try to get you on a weight loss plan.
Right. Because they're not satisfied from the beginning. Right. But imagine how that other person feels, and they may not even be aware of it, but imagine how much drama that could cause in a relationship from the very beginning, because you are not okay with your own choices.
Right.
And it's like, well, how do I know? How do I know I'm okay with my choices? Because you make them.
Yeah, you know.
Right? You make them and you stand in them.
You know you are making your own decision when there is no one that comes in between the question and the answer. That means you're the only one that came up with that yes or no. If there is any name or face that pop up in your head, that's not you making that decision if you go based upon that.
Right. That's true. That's true. And there's no way to honestly walk in your truth from that point on. And I think so many people, I keep, repeating the topic or the question, are you okay with what you like? But, there are people that are literally, for whatever reason, ashamed of what they like, whether it's, I have friends that really love drug dealers, for whatever reason. And I'm just using it because a lot of people would turn their nose up at that. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I condone any type of, or I, am totally against anybody's choice for who they want. But using that example, if that's what you choose, you can't be ashamed of it and behave in that manner and, be one person this day and another person the next day. It's like, what you're choosing.
The best way to think about it is like this. Think about it like this. It don't matter if you choose yes, the no people, they're gonna have a problem with it.
Right.
If you say no, the yes people gonna have a problem with it too.
That is very true.
So you might as well go for what you want.
Right.
Because there's gonna be people that's gonna oppose it anyway. Because that's just how we are created. Everybody is not the same, and it's not a bad thing.
And imagine choosing
the get up on you like that, but I gotta get some eye contact with these folks.
Imagine choosing a person that you thought everybody wanted you to be with.
Right.
Only to find out.
That's a good perspective.
Right. Only to find out, like he said, there's still a whole crowd of people that never wanted you to be with that person anyway.
That's a good perspective.
You never get anything out of the deal. You don't get the satisfaction of being with who you want. You don't get the satisfaction of pleasing people. You just lose all the way around.
In some cases, that's when you call from a man's perspective, and some perspectives a woman, but that's a trophy because you can't do anything with it.
Right.
It's for other people to see.
That makes sense.
That's it. It's just for somebody else to see. You can't enjoy it. It just sit on the shelf, and when somebody comes to your house, they look at it and they say, "Oh, this nice. This real nice."
And you're like the thing with the batteries in it.
Yeah. What's it helping you do? Is it helping you pay your bills? Is it helping you anything?
Right. Then
nothing.
The batteries die, and everybody's like, "Wait, what happened to your relationship? I thought y'all loved each other."
Right.
No, I was just.
It's dead.
Yeah. So the point of today's topic is really, guys, live in your truth. Live in your truth. We talk about that in every area of our lives, but
you're not hurting anybody else physically,
especially yourself.
Right.
Especially yourself. But live in your truth. If this is where you are today, I'm not saying that you're going to be there all of your life or that you won't grow, that you won't mature, but if you live in your truth, you will be satisfied with your decisions.
Yes.
And that's what makes life worth living. That's what makes relationships worth having. That's what makes marriage worth keeping. This is my truth. I'm living in it, and everybody else joined the train, so they're happy too now. So anyway, I'm Tika.
I'm the mechanic.
And this is my husband, Gregory, and this is Getting to Know Marriage, guys. Listen, like I said, we are back. We will be every Wednesday. We will be releasing a new video. Make sure you guys like our video. Make sure you share it. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you want to leave a comment, a question, if you have some topics that you think would be interesting for us to talk about. We have some couples we're going to be interviewing this season. I am super excited. And we have a special episode next week. So this guy's having a birthday tomorrow, and we'll be celebrating this weekend.
22.
Again. So yeah, we'll be recording some of that celebration and talking a little bit with the couple that we'll be celebrating with. So make sure that you're back here next week, next Wednesday. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you guys. We love you.
Yes.